Like, I had this guy, I was walking down the road and some man started like beeping his car, screaming out, and we're like, "Oi, love, love!" And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Love your band." And they drove off, and I was like, "You were what?" I was like, "You're literally catcalling me about like the feminist punk band I'm in." That was pretty bonkers. But that was few and far between.
The white van man's changing.
Truly.
It's evolving.
Before
He's
your eyes.
evolving. Be careful.
101. Have you got into that?
Into what?
Like DJing after
Oh,
shows?
fuck yeah, we love
yeah.
it. Love a good DJ.
Lots of fart noises.
Yeah.
Because you can make a bit of money doing that. Extra money. Extra
money.
cashish.
Yeah.
Really.
Arguably much easier than playing gigs. Yeah.
Yeah, because you turn up with a stick, play.
Not, mate, laptop, aux,
Yeah.
straight into Spotify.
Pass the aux.
Crossfade on Spotify.
Yeah, it's 5-second crossfade, you're done.
It's us with a laptop, about 5 tabs open from YouTube. One is DJ sound effects, air horn, baby screaming, fart noises, Turkish man screams at egg,
Scooby-Doo laugh.
Scooby-Doo laugh.
A man screaming nothing
Yeah,
into the
just
void.
like that over the music, and then you get
People love it.
Yeah,
people go wild, especially for Turkish man screams at egg. When that comes on, the
They
crowd is
love it.
bussing.
Could you tell us where you found? I mean, you're sort of blowing up the spot here. You know, blowing up your find. You're a crate digger for the fart sounds. But where did you find the Turkish man shout to egg?
Just through life.
Yeah,
Something we carry
through our
around.
travels.
Yeah.
Give the people what they want. What are Lambrini Girls fans like?
they're all right. They're really nice. Yeah, they're very nice. Don't have a bad word to say about any of our fans. I've never met one of our fans and been like, they're a fucking dickhead.
No.
But then again, also, if someone is a fan of you, they're not going to be a dick to you.
Yeah.
But you do get the odd people like at your gig just coming over, camera in your face, like, "Come on, love, fucking smile." Like, I had this guy, I was walking down the road and some man started like beeping his car, screaming out, and we're like, "Oi, love, love!" And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Love your band." And they drove off, and I was like, "You were what?" I was like, "You're literally catcalling me about like the feminist punk band I'm in." That was pretty bonkers. But that was few and far between.
The white van man's changing.
Truly.
It's evolving.
Yeah.
Before
He's
your eyes.
evolving. Be careful.
There is something in the kind of six music daddy thing, which self-esteem totally smashed
Daddy.
Oh yeah.
with the cat. You see
Oh yeah,
those
the
cats?
Six Music Dads. Yeah, they're so
I
good.
think self-esteem designed those right.
Yeah.
But it is mad. You know, you go see a band that if there's kind of more than half of women, there's always like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. There's like 10 rows of like bald-headed dudes at the front.
There are, and I
Yeah.
think it's a dangerous trap to fall into. And let me tell you, to all Radio 6 dads that may be watching this, we love you, and you are a financial pillar of the music industry.
Truly.
And we wouldn't be able to pay our rent without you. But you want a nice mixture of people. And I think there is a trap where you go and see like the most crazy fucking band of your life and no one's moving at all. And it's just like a sea of bald,
So
which is a beautiful sight.
get your dancing shoes on, Radio 6 dads, and shake what your mama gave you.
This new record, I went through a stage, or me and my friends went through a stage of just being really into pogoing at gigs. You're sort of jumping up and down on the spot. Obviously, you
You're
know,
like
you kind
sardines.
of put yourself in a good position where you're not going to knock over too many people's drinks, but you know, occupational hazard. Listening to Who Let the Dogs Out, I was like, I want a pogo.
You want
I want
pogo
a
to that?
And I don't know I don't know if it's like the guitar sound. I don't know if it's like the rhythm or like the pace or the BPM. It's something about like good punk rock that makes you want a pogo. It's inside
Straight
of you.
up and down.
Straight
Up and down,
like
no
a
left
sardine.
and right.
Without a stick.
None of that
No
fancy
No
shit.
stick.
No.
No stick.
No
No
stick
kind of
needed.
like back brace.
No.
You got to bring that naturally.
Just up and down, poker face. Are you having fun? Do you need a shit? Who knows?
Last time we spoke, last time you were on 101, you were just about to quit your jobs and go on tour forever.
Yes.
Are you hardened road warriors now?
Truly.
Jaded, bitter. We've aged like 10 years
Yeah,
in the
we
space of a
look
year.
at pictures of ourselves from a year or two ago and we're like, fucking hell.
We used to be so beautiful.
Oh, remember that?
Oh, yeah. God, you had so
beautiful.
much life in your
Oh,
eyes.
God.
Yeah.
All the colour in your cheeks. It's gone.
Oh,
You're grey.
yes. So that's where we're at, Giles.
I'm not ready to interrupt that. I'm enjoying it. There is something really cool about traveling so much with with your mate.
Yeah.
Sat next to your mate.
It's all right, innit?
It's okay.
We have a good time.
Does the drummer have to sit in the row in front or behind?
We
Nah, we let him on.
yeah we
let him on the
on
bus.
the boot on the top. We sellotape them to the top of the van.
You got a shed.
Yeah,
A little
get the
sidecar. Helmet and a sidecar. Yeah. It's like a horse.
It's good to know you haven't lost your humour.
Yeah.
You were living in a flat down the road.
I was.
You jumping between places? How does it work when you're travelling so much?
I was living in Stamford Hill. I'm not going to say where I live now, but I was living in Stamford Hill, and we were about to go on like this like 2-3 month tour, and I realised the day before we were leaving that I would be unable to pay my rent, and my rent was like falling halfway through like the next month on the tour. Yeah. So I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to make it, and if I can't make my rent, I'm on tour, so I'm not going to be able to move all my shit out. So then I realised on the day before we went away that I'm going to have to move everything I own back to my mum's attic, which I'm very lucky that I could put it in my mum's attic and stay on her sofa. But I was like, shit. And then I was like, well, how do I move all of my stuff back in the next 7 hours back to Brighton? And then my friend Alex just gave me the number for this guy called Frank. And I was like, okay, I'm going to call Frank. And this guy turns up. He's like, hello, I'm Frank. How are you? And I was like, hi, Frank. Just starts chucking my stuff in like the back of his van. He was like, do you want to buy a mattress from me? And I was like, no.
So you're on the pavement outside your flat with all your belongings.
Yeah, all my shit. He was a legend though. Shout out, Frank. I don't think he watches your podcast. He
might do.
He might.
You never know.
But he's too busy just moving people's shit around 24/7.
Is he the one involved in the mafia?
Yeah.
Oh.
We cannot confirm or deny that.
You got to trust some people.
Like, yeah.
It's funny how you do that. It's funny how I feel it's often in cars, in taxis. I don't know. You got to have a level of trust.
You got to. I mean, Frank, for instance, he was going to like bombing down like the M25 or whatever when you go back from London to Brighton, and he like had this calendar, like a paper calendar, and he just was slamming it on the wheel and getting a pen whilst driving and doing that. And I'd be like, Frank, let me hold your calendar for you. He was like, no, I'm just going to write something in quickly. And I was like, I'm going to die with this random dude driving me back home. But he got me home to my mum's, and then he cracked on with my mum.
Come on.
Yeah. And then
you watch it. You've watched it.
Yeah, he was like, Phoebe, I didn't know you had a younger sister here. And I was like, oh, fair play. My mum was like, oh, who's this? Who is this man? And I was like, I'm back with all of my stuff, Mum.
This is Frank.
This is Frank.
Meet Frank.
Yeah.
101. Your voice sounds sick. You got the there's the gluttural in there, and I feel like maybe you don't get that first take, maybe you don't get that 10th take.
It's like committing to the bit. Like when we were actually recording the album, I had to re-record my vocals because we did it all at the end. And you're in this dark room for like a week, 10 days straight. No natural light. We're all caning it. No one's like
playing the same
thing over and over and over and over again. So the time I got to do my vocals, it was like full pelt once, and then it's like, great, do that again, do that again, do that again. And then you're doing every song like 10, 15 times, and by the end I'm just there like, oh no, like that. And it sounded fucking shite. We were listening back and I was like, I sound like a little bitch boy. So then we re-recorded my vocals in Dublin.
Nice.
And then they were all right.
What was in Dublin? Who did you record it with?
Daniel Fox.
Oh, right, from Gillaband.
Daniel
Mr.
motherfucking Fox.
Daniel M. Fox.
He does this mad thing with Gillaband where he gets this hi-hat cymbal that looked like it's been run over by a lorry.
Yeah, crash
It's like,
stuff. Yeah, it's fucking sick.
It's awesome.
It's actually on the record as well.
On your record?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you can hear it in Love, actually.
And they're one of those bands from loads of other bands from Ireland or anywhere else. They're like, okay, that's a band that has done their own thing. And I feel like, you know, it's kind of a said thing, you know, I love that band because they do their own thing. They're in their own path. I say it all the fucking time. But it's true, right? When you get a band that's doing their own thing, it's really inspiring.
Mate, they reinvented guitar music, if you ask me.
Really?
I love Gillaband and I love the way that they write and play, and I take a lot of inspiration from it because none of their instruments sound like their instruments.
Yeah.
Like they're just like,
Yeah.
they just make shit tons of noise and manage to craft it into something musical, which I think is fantastic.
What is it? Is it like character first?
I guess so. I think it's a way of, I can't speak for them, of course.
But your inspiration from it?
Yeah.
What you take from it?
I think it's just an untraditional approach to writing music. Like, I'm not like a traditional bassist. Like, I started playing in lockdown by myself, just learning songs, and like my first instrument's piano and vocals, so never really had anything to do with bass. So like to kind of just piss around with some cool sound effects and like use that in a creative way to make it sound musical. Like taming noise into something musical is like something really fun and limitless, which is cool. So that's something that I take from Gilla Band, being a really big fan.
What are your favourite things on the record? Like, are there any sort of like using a bread knife to do a pick slide or something?
No, not quite that creative yet. Maybe for album 2, you've just given me a fantastic idea. Well, I really like the like main riff in Love and the effects that are used on that, which is just like music effects, like a ring modulator and reverb. And then you've got the clap, the like crash stack in Love on the drums as well, which is really cool. What else? Bad Apple has some really fun sounds in it. Yeah, some really cool little octave swells.
Yeah.
Sounds disgusting, which I love.
Yeah. I hear some sort of the OCs in it, in some of it.
Is it?
Yeah, and so like Jay Reatard in the guitar. Like
Rock
in the background.
Oh yeah, bit of that, bit
Yeah.
of this, bit of that. Just enough, but not too much.
Yeah.
Bon appetit.
Just right.
But that's the way the mop flops sometimes, when you don't know what to play on your guitar, and that's fine.
Yeah, I feel like when you learn to play guitar, or like start to be in a band, you learn how like cover songs or, you know, rock songs, and then you do your own thing. And then I feel like to make a good record or to make something interesting, you then have to unlearn that shit.
No more Smoke on the Water.
Yeah.
That's gone.
But it's still sick.
Yeah.
It's still sick. It's a timeless classic.
But you're unlearning what you've learned to then make something cool.
I mean, in my case, I never learnt it in the first place, so I'm just out here winging it. But yeah.
I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I walked into the studio at one point and Phoebe was literally just like, her fingers were just kind of flying randomly on the fretboard and she was kind of just going...
Oh yeah, I was. Those points where Dad would just be like, go crazy, and I'd be like that, and I didn't actually know what I was
I
doing.
think that was in Bad Apple, the like squeaky, like shellacky
Yeah.
Jesus Lizard sounds. It was
Hell yeah.
very cool.
Hey, I got to ask, with like swearing,
Yes.
I once worked with someone who in a meeting was like, can everyone just stop swearing, please? I really don't like it.
Well, that's rude. Why don't they leave the room then?
Is that
baby?
what you're asking us?
Do you
now?
ever get, you know, we talk about Six Music
Yeah.
and how like getting on the radio is one way to be a band and get in front of people and continue doing the thing that you're doing. Do you ever think that like calling a song Ntology 101?
I mean, that's not going to get played on the radio.
Yeah,
like,
we
know that.
we didn't have any high hopes for that to get on the radio. That one's just for us.
That's just
and for us,
and for us.
I like to think
For
we had
everyone.
to play
Our song.
This our song.
Yeah.
Our song. No, is there a consideration there? I don't know if the chorus has got like a fuck or a cunt in it.
Yeah, there is, like, big time. Like, we'll make radio edits of like the majority of our songs, especially if it's a political song. You want to get that on the radio. That's a massive platform. If you want to be political in the mainstream, it does mean, and you have a word that might say fuck in it or cunt or whatever, bar Ntology 101, that's never getting on the radio. But like a lot of our songs have swearing in, they're very profane. Just tastefully bleep it out.
Yeah.
I mean, tastefully, apart from Big Dick Energy.
Oh yeah, they put a whole, but that's still like not going to be played. Like you can't be like, hey, there's a song called Big Dick Energy, and over the word dick, we're going to put an elephant like fucking.
Honk.
I've missed it on the radio. Is
Yeah,
there-
that's because it didn't get played, Giles.
Because nobody
Because
wants
who
to
the
hear
fuck's
that.
going to put that on the radio?
It was fucking hilarious, though. I gotta say,
So you think it's your first single from your first album?
Big Honk Energy.
Like it was. I'm not. I guess that's always like a line that you can do. How much of ourselves can we be? But to be able to get to be in these places, like be played on Six Music.
I think you can do it in a way, like if you're, I'm not clever enough about it, if you're mindful enough about it. Like we released first song off the album was Company Culture. That's got loads of swear words in. It's very profane, but if you can just mute it out in a way which doesn't actually affect the integrity of a song. But if you have a song where the chorus is just shit, fuck my cunt, you fuck, like that's not going to get played on the radio.
Cocksucker, motherfucker.
Bling blong blang. Beep, beep,
I
beep,
think
beep.
also like not every single song needs that many swear words. Like a lot of the like lyrics that Phoebe writes, and like, you know, some of them are quite serious. So there might be like a fuck here and there, but swearing is not like intrinsic to all songs. Sometimes it's a bit of fun. Like ntology is fun.
For sure. And like swearing, like it emphasizes the point.
Yeah,
like,
it gets the point across. No misunderstandings.
Yeah, keep it plain and simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doubting this, how about an F-bomb?
Boom.
101. What about injuries? I saw you at Trees, I think not this year, but last year, and you stubbed your toe through the wrapping of it. So you climb up
what
the
did
middle.
Oh yeah,
And I was
what
like,
happened?
is she okay?
I did. I hurt myself. What did I do? When was that? I've blocked all that out now. Like the worst one, because Lil's has had a really bad one, and so have I. The worst one I had is I literally fell down like 2 tiny steps in a venue, and something like cracked in my leg, and I was just like on the floor in Belgium, just going, Lily, fuck,
Someone get Lily.
get Lily.
I was outside bitching to a stranger about how she always nicks my picks, and then someone comes out and is like, your guitarist needs you. I'm like, fuck's sake, what does she want now? She want my bass too. I'm joking, I didn't say that.
So it wasn't
But
even playing.
I walked in and she was like, I've really hurt my ankle, and obviously I felt like a massive bell end.
And Lily was like panicking. She was like, do you want a tequila shot? And this is how I knew that something was genuinely wrong. I was like, no.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew.
That's serious business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours was...
Yeah, I mean, I broke
worse.
my wrist at a Lambrini Girls show. That was brutal. It was an absolutely mental show at the Fiddler's Elbow in Brighton, and it was well over capacity to the point where it was dangerous, to be honest. And someone got... I sensed the danger, and I stood on like the sub speaker for most of the show until the last song, which is Craig David, where I do a bunch of delay swells on my pedals. So I had to get down and do all that business. And then some poor girl got absolutely body slammed right into my board. And I have a little scar from where the knob from my pedal went into my wrist.
Oh, damn.
And the knob is very blunt. So for it to make a scar, you can imagine.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
well-rounded things.
Yeah. So that
hell.
one was really brutal.
You were crushed.
Yeah, I was crushed
Damn.
to pieces. Smithereens. I was blown
Obliterated.
to smithereens.
And here you are today, sat in front of us.
I live to tell the tale.
What about drinking? Because I often think, I can't drink 3 days on the chart. I did that last week and I was KO for 2 days.
I mean, it does get a bit, like, it gets a bit hard after a while, but
It's hard
when
being
you're
so
in the
fun
zone
and amazing all the time.
it's hard
When you're fucking
being
hard.
party girls.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah. It's hard being a party girl 24/7.
Yeah, 365.
What's your hangover cure?
More.
Bloody Marys.
Bloody Marys. Let's go, bitch.
We go on runs too.
Runs.
We're not all unhealthy.
Sometimes though, when you like wake up and you're like so hungover, the when you know you have a bad hangover, and then it's like, do I have alcohol poisoning? Which doesn't happen often. I've got.
It does with you.
know,
Audrey.
I have a liver
You're
of steel, I'll
Very
have you know.
prone to alcohol.
Yeah, I know I
poisoning.
am. I
It's
get it all the
bizarre.
time.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
think
like-
you should be drinking at all. Actually.
I'll have like 4 pints, and next morning I'll just like have alcohol poisoning, and I'm like, what the fuck? But same time, live by the sword, die by the sword. But yeah, hangover cure, food, more alcohol, having a little cry.
Yeah.
Always feel that helps. I have a little cry, I feel sorry for myself. And sometimes what helps is if you like look at yourself in the mirror and you go, well done, Phoebe, you've done really well. And I did that to myself yesterday, actually.
That's good.
Well done, Phoebe, you've done really good today.
Yeah.
And it actually really helps because no one else is actually going to really say that to you. But you want it, so you might as well just say it to yourself in the mirror.
Yeah,
It works.
Bloody Mary and a hug from your best mate. Just
Yeah.
I was going to hug yourself in the mirror, and I was like, Bloody Mary, and just lick your own reflection. That would do it.
That is like a funny point about like everyone needs to feel good about what they're doing. And if you're playing in front of people who are going nuts and they're paid to be there and they're having a great time, you see that come back at you. But I guess it's not going to be like a everyday thing where you say to one another, hey, you're fucking sick, you know.
Yeah.
We do have our off days. Don't get us wrong. We may look invincible and we may look really cool and sick, but we're only human.
Do you know what, it is
Unbeknownst to some, you may think we're some godlike figures, but let me tell you, we're just like everyone else.
it is inspiring, and I know that's like ridiculously like earnest of me to say, but when when there's so much shit on the feed that makes you so sad or gutted or however myriad of bullshit feelings you feel, to follow things that make you feel excited or entertained, I feel like that's life, isn't it? If you can tune into something that makes you stoked every day, you're gonna live a better life than if not.
Yeah. You gotta have balance in life. And, that's, being sick legends is part of that balance.
I think there's like a good balance to find, because obviously like the world's literally on fucking fire. So I think everyone needs a form of escapism just as much as they need to be informed. And I think it's about finding that balance of being like, well, what can we offer people? And a lot of the stuff we post is really fucking depressing. And it's about, being realist and looking at the state of the world. At the same time, we want to make people laugh, we want to entertain people, and we want to make sure that people feel like they have a safe space and somewhere that they're going to feel affirmed. And I think it's like striking a balance between the two. If you can get that right, then you're doing a good job.
Yeah, because it can get really overwhelming, obviously, if you're like scrolling through news, and we've said this already like before, but it's important to stay involved, but at the same time you also need to be kind to yourself, and if you need a little bit of a dissociation for a hot second, then you need to do that too, also so that you can actually be well enough to show up for people when they need it. And it is scary, but if you look hard enough around you, there are a lot of amazing people who really, really, really care about things and care about you. And it's important to focus on that equally. Mm-hmm,
for sure. And that can be saying thanks to the bus driver.
Yeah.
That could be saying thanks to the person at the shoppo, having a chat with the person at the offie.
Bringing the shopping cart back. You don't need to,
Doing backflips with your grandma.
Backflips with granny. Yeah. Love that. It's going to be Independent Venue Week soon. I mean, I feel like Independent Venue Week can be kind of like a vague thing. It's like, save the independents. Yeah. And then it can be a very close thing for maybe you work at one, or you're in a band that plays at one, or you're a promoter. It's
really important that you show up for, grassroots music scene, grassroots bands, grassroots venues.
I mean, we wouldn't be here.
We wouldn't be here at all. And really, a lot of grassroots bands that rely on grassroots venues to champion them and get them into places where, they might be able to, get some sort of shot to elevate their career. If it wasn't for places like the Prince Albert, or specifically Green Door Store, Hope and Ruin,
in Brighton,
Brighton, we wouldn't be doing any of the things we're doing now. It's just because we were platformed and had the support of our community to actually help us like elevate our career. And that goes for most bands who don't have, like a massive financial pot to dip into, if that be through parents or a label. Like, we've got a label now, we're able to do that. That's not us denying that, but it's so important that, we make sure that we're, putting as much effort, time, money, if you have it, into these spaces, because there's no fucking public funding, and that's why they're all getting shut down. And by doing that, you're just furthering the disparity on who can actually be in the music industry as well. It's really it's so layered. But so if you don't think you're going to Independent Venue Week, then stop being a little wanker and show up.
There's that big argument that there's always that thing that someone's commenting, being like, the post will be, Oasis wouldn't be Oasis, or Blur wouldn't be Blur without these. And then there'll be someone commenting saying, well, it's not just to create venues, it's not just a stepping stone for these big bands. And to me, that's irrelevant, because things are always, you don't mean things to be stepping stones, they just are what they are. And you just need it in the first place. And then whatever happens after that, happens after that. Yeah. But having a place where, if you're from somewhere like Bedford and you don't want to go to Vodka Revs, you'd want to go down to the Frog and Fiddle, to go see a local punk band. That makes your life as a teenager.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a scene and a community in and of itself. And like you said, it doesn't need to be a stepping stone. Playing in independent venues in and of itself is fucking sick. Yeah. So, you know, it doesn't need to be anything else other than that. And I think the community that is born from those types of places is really, really important and really fulfilling for a lot of people, including ourselves.
It's people.
Yeah.
And I think people need people.
Yeah.
People have shit enough lives.
We're pack animals.
Big time.
We're sociable
rubbing,
creatures.
rubbing shoulders and down in pints.
Yeah, pogoing next to each other.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. 101 part-time jobs. That's why we're here. How do you feel to be on the show today?
Honoured. I feel like I've just met the Queen.
David Beckham.
David Beckham. You're the
I'll take
David
that.
Beckham of the
Podcast,
podcast
yeah.
Doesn't
world.
smell as good as Beck's, but
Bend it like Beckham. Giles.
God.
Glug it like Giles. No, good. Giles. Bliles. Wiles.
Yeah.
Shiles.
Don't make me feel like I'm at high school again.
Piles it like Giles.
How's it like, Giles?
You lost me.
Yeah, I can't think of one.
Have you worked any side hustles in the last year? Have you had time to?
Not
No.
really, no. Do you know what I'd love to do? And it's too much of a saturated market. I'd love to sell my pants online for money. I tried to do that, and it's too much. You've got to be like a pants celebrity to do it.
Okay.
You've got to like be
You
a
gotta
big
really
name
commit.
in the pants world.
Like a lot
Yes.
of, I imagine a lot of admin as well.
Yeah, probably.
Loads of admin.
Yeah, but if anyone wants to
parcels.
buy my pants, you can.
How much? Asking for a friend.
I mean, I don't want to lowball myself for a pair of pants that.
Thing
I
is, there's
own.
categories.
50?
There's categories as well, because like some of them are like pants that have been worn for 3 days, or like pants worn by a ballet dancer, and then like, you know, there's like different categories. So for pants worn by Phoebe Lunny during a gig, how many gigs? I don't know. How many days would you wear the same pants?
Well, I mean, how many days could I wear the same pants? For money,
Yeah,
if it's going up by the day, then I'll just fucking
you
crack
keep
on.
going.
Just keep going
Forever.
until
Until they fall off.
That is awful personal hygiene. That is terrible.
The time is money, Giles, and money now.
You know, I once went through such a bad period of personal hygiene that I got a pyelonal cyst, it's called.
What's that?
And they used to get it in World War II. when they,
What is it?
it's basically like a build-up of sweat where back meets crack.
Giles,
And I had
you
to-
dirty dog.
I was so dirty. Not in any fun way either.
Did it
just
go away
in
by itself?
Whitechapel. No, I had to go down to Whitechapel, just down the road from here. It's
Bloody
closed now.
Whitechapel.
And I was in the A&E bit, so I kept on I had to go nil by mouth for at least 12 hours. So that was a whole ordeal, not eating. You know, it's difficult. And then because it's the area where people would be coming in with stab wounds or people would be helicoptered in from
God.
awful accidents, they kept on pushing it back. So I was in there for 3 days.
Just with a really sweaty butt
That's
crack.
terrible.
And they got my name wrong on my wristband. They called me Giles Bidler.
Oh,
That was quite painful.
beef
my-
a bum crack.
Yeah.
And my mum came to sit beside me for one night, and my pals that I'm actually not friends with anymore because I don't like them very much.
That's so fair.
They rang up my phone, and my mum answered, and they prank called her.
That's
Oh,
rude.
that's really
Like,
mean.
It's really mean.
Boo.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're
so-
not friends with them.
yeah,
Me neither.
fuck 'em.
Real friends don't do that, especially when you got a cyst above your butt crack.
Yeah.
It's true.
I had
Yeah.
pink eye once. That was,
How do you deal with pink eye?
I think you just got to wait it out. I think they gave me eye drops and that was it. And yeah, I don't know how that happened.
Hey, friends, though, you know, getting older, going through your 20s, it's a big period of time being like, okay, I don't really like hanging out with you anymore.
Yeah.
How are we going to stop hanging out? Because it's awkward.
Not for me.
Yeah, Lily's just
I
like
don't
rules
give
with
a
an
fuck,
iron
yeah.
fist.
Like if I'm, I don't know. I don't
I've
really
seen
see
it.
the issue. It's like, if I'm done, I'm done. I don't know. I feel like,
Do you say it?
no. I mean,
Lily's just like,
yeah.
Lily's exited the
I
group
don't
chat.
know. I think I'm just kind of like, just don't want to do it anymore, and then I don't, and then I don't know. I don't really see. I would rather someone just did that with me rather than put themselves through enduring my presence against their will.
very honest.
And yeah,
is wise.
I struggle to understand these kind of like social expectations because I feel like everything would be so much easier if we just did what we wanted. Within reason, of course. I'm not a complete asshole, but
You don't want to fuck anyone over.
no.
Punch him in the face.
Don't want to hurt anyone or
Donkey
anything. Yeah, Glaswegian
Just like-
kiss, mate.
See ya. No, I'm the opposite. I don't want to let go. If if like I feel like I've fallen out with my friends, or even if I have a friend that's not nice to me, I don't want to let go of them. I'm like, there must be a reason, surely, that you're being a massive cunt. But there never is. But I really struggle to let go of people. And then even when I do, I think about them.
Yeah, I mean,
And I'm
it's
like, I
not
wonder what
nice.
so-and-so's
It
up
is
to.
hard.
Yeah.
Because obviously you formed a connection with someone, and then you're like, oh, that's not
Aye.
what I thought it was. But you know, that's life. You get to know people, and sometimes you just don't gel anymore, and that's okay.
Let those bridges burn.
Yeah.
And dance
Burn
in the
it
flames.
all down. Yeah.
And rise like a phoenix from the ashes.
Yeah.
Keep on going.
Keep
That's
on
it.
trucking.
Hey, thanks for the chat. Thank you for the time.
Thanks, Charles.
Thanks for the palm tree for having us here.
Thank you, Palm
Yeah,
Tree.
thank you, Palm
For your
Tree.
custom. No, our custom.
You're going to have to play a show here.
Yes.
Let's do
that
it
would
right
be
now.
amazing. Look at that.
I think that would be a great show.
That'd be
Just
great
to end
fun.
with, I might have asked you on the last episode, but I feel like people have more than one work fuck up story, work gaff memory. Have you had any since we last spoke?
She's got fucking loads.
I've just got a back catalogue. I've been fired from like 9 jobs.
Yeah.
I don't know what I told you about. But I told you about the vape factory.
No.
Okay, I worked in a vape factory and I didn't really do much work, but I was like decanting stuff into bottles and like getting all of this massive vape liquid and spilling it all over me and like putting it on bottles and packaging it. And I got fired because it turns out for like months on end, I wasn't putting the lids on the bottles on right. And then they all got shipped to China. And they just all spilt throughout all of these cardboard boxes. And I lost them thousands of pounds. And then I got fired. And I tried to get my job back, but they were just like, no, you're shit. And then that was that.
Lost Phoebe.
Yeah, and that's why I smoke cigarettes and don't vape, because analog is better than digital.
Because you've known that someone has put that thing together and they might have fucked it up.
Yeah, they might have. I don't have time for that. I'm too busy in Chuff Town.
A lot of plastic waste there as well.
Yeah, exactly. Really, I did them a favour.
How about you, Lily? Any memories?
No.
I'm perfect.
No, I think I was really fucking awful at my last job. I worked for Fender, and no, I did fuck up a lot. Like, oh yeah. There was this one time where this like music dealer put in a massive order, and it's a huge client, and it was like time sensitive. It's very boring. It's nowhere near as funny as like not putting the lids on properly on vape liquid. But I basically fucked up a huge order and lost the business like loads of money in discount because I didn't scroll all the way down on the Excel file. And I missed out like over half the order. And that wasn't the only time that happened. I did that sort of shit a lot. So I'm sorry, Fender. I was fucking awful at my job. And yeah, it's a good thing I'm gone, I
You're
think.
sponsored by Fender now.
We are, and we're very thankful.
Yeah. I'm definitely better on this side of the job, not gonna lie.
Almost like it was meant to be.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Charles.
Thanks for having us.
Good chat.
Love you.
Good fun.
Truly.
Cheers for watching. This is 101 Part-Time Jobs. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, and all podcast apps. We've done interviews with Aurora, Kneecap, Idols, Laura Mabry of Churches, and loads more. So tap into 101 Part-Time Jobs on Spotify, Apple, and all podcast apps.